Okay, this instructional video is going to be about the parts of an algebraic expression. So we're going to take apart these two expressions and break them down into what parts they are. So first I'm going to go over the vocabulary, and this is important that you know these because we're going to be using them a lot. Okay, so term is a constant, a variable, or a coefficient and a variable. A variable is a letter that represents many possible values. A variable term, a term that contains a variable. Constant, a number called a constant because its value never changes. The opposite of a constant is a variable. Factor is a number that's multiplied. Product, the result of multiplication. Sum is the result of addition. Coefficient is the number that multiplies the variable next to it. So like here is the coefficient, and this is the variable. A quotient is the result of a division. So if we were to calculate and solve and evaluate this, would be the solution would be the quotient. Okay? So here we're going to start off, and I'm going to circle a few things because I think it helps clarify things. So when you have 5x over 3, 2, and you have 2 times 10 plus y, these are both terms. That's a term, and this is a term. And like I said, this, because it's division, this whole piece in green is a quotient. Okay? Now we're going to take this apart. And we are going to say the terms are, what we just circled is 5x divided by 3 over 2, and it's 2 times 10 plus y. So those are the terms. Now the operations that are being used, we're just going to circle. So we're using division, we're using addition, and we're using, remember when you do 2 times the parentheses, this right in here is multiplication. Okay? The constants are things that stay the same. So it's 5, 3, 2, and 10. 5, 3, 2, and 10. The variables, x and y. X, y. The coefficients is, there is a 5, and this is where sometimes it gets confusing. Whenever you just see the variable by itself, you always consider there's a 1 in front of it. So the other coefficient is 1. Now the groups, or the parenthesis, is 10 plus y. The exponent, 3 to the second power. And the factors are things that are multiplied. Remember 5 times x, 2 times 10 plus y. Okay, so the factors are 5 and x, and it's 2, and then the other factor is the 10 plus y. All right, and the products are what you multiply together. So we know the product is 2, 10 plus y, and 5x. The add-ins are the things that you add together, the 10 plus the y. The sum would be whatever the 10 plus the y equals. There are no radicals. There are no subtraction, so we can get rid of the minuend, the subtrahend, and the difference. Okay? And then when we look at the dividends, remember the dividend is divided by the divisor, which gives you the quotient. So the dividend, let me raise it up here so you can see it, is 5x. The divisor is through to the second power, and the quotient would be 5x divided by 3 to the second power. Okay? Now, I'd like you to pause the video, and I'd like you to try on your own and put in what you think goes into this side over here. Break down this expression into its parts. Okay? I'm going to give you a minute or two. And just to start off, remember, this whole thing is a term, and this whole thing is a term. And just like we learned over here, for this one, when you divide something by the dividend by the divisor, it's a quotient. Okay? So the terms are 2x plus 7 divided by x and 6y. The operators are division, multiplication, and addition. So addition, multiplication, and I'm going to put a dot for the multiplication so we get used to that. The constants, the numbers that are there all the time, are 2, 8, 7, 6. The variables are x and y. The coefficient that is in front of the variable is 6. The groups, the things in the parentheses, are 8 plus 7. The exponent, I don't see an exponent, so I'm going to put a dash. Factors is 2. Remember, you're multiplying 2 times a plus, and you're also multiplying 6 times y. So I'm going to put that in here. Now the products would be whatever 2 times 8 plus 7 equals, or what 6y equals. Okay? The add-ins, what are we adding together? The 8 and the 7. So the sum would be 8, whatever 8 plus 7 equals. There are no radicals. There are no minuends. There's no subtraction, so we don't have to worry about the minuends, the subtrahends, or the differences. The dividend would be the top number, which is 2, 8 plus 7. And the divisor is x. And the quotient is whatever 2 times 8 plus 7 divided by x equals. Now the interpretation is, what are we doing up here? We are doing the sum of a quotient and a product. Okay? Because this is multiplication, which is a product, and this is the quotient. Now, if we look back here, it's the same thing here. It's the sum of a quotient, because we're adding, and a product. Okay, we are all set. Please let us know if you have any questions. Thanks for listening.